1, 2, 3.
Tag Moon Podcast, back again with another episode. You remember myself, Ola?
And also Anton.
Was that yours?
No, I was just laughing to myself.
Back again with another episode. In today's episode, we are talking about delayed gratification. And where we're going to start this is, so I don't know if you remember, I remember reading this study. It's quite a famous study. It's a social science study that was initially done in the 70s or 80s, I believe. And it was called the marshmallow test. Ring a bell?
No.
So this is what the test was. They got about 90 children, mix of boys, girls, sort of mainly from a Stanford preschool. So it was like sort of reception, young year one sort of level.
Stanford's supposed to be like...
No, it was like a Stanford
elite.
Yeah, elite. So
this
is like a preschool for the elite.
Okay.
So just getting them from early. And the test was simple. They put the children in a room and they said, if they put a marshmallow in front of the child, it was marshmallow or pretzel or some sort of treat. And they said, you can have the marshmallow now or the treat now. Or if you wait 15 minutes, you'll get 2. If they waited, they will get 2 of that treat, right? So that was the experiment. The parents would then leave the room. They'd kind of go, like those sort of like glasses where you can see through, but they can't see you.
Oh, yeah.
So they were behind one of those ones and then they'd wait. So then some children kind of just went for it there and then. Others waited and expressed delayed gratification. And from that study, they followed the children sort of later on in life. And they basically said that the children that displayed delayed gratification at that young age, it followed through later on in life, and they found that those ones who had delayed it had sort of like lower, healthier or better BMIs, better scores in school, had a lot more friends. They were basically just seen as more well-rounded individuals, right? However, interestingly enough, they recreated that same experiment last year. The difference they did now was that they got... I guess the result from that was they believed that the reason for that was mainly delayed gratification. They did this experiment again last year, 2018. They did it again because they felt that 90 just wasn't enough of a fair, amount of people, children, especially from them all being in the same population as well. Yeah. So they did it again, 900 children, different economic backgrounds, different financial backgrounds, different socioeconomic areas, all different races and cultures. Did it again. And they actually found that, interestingly enough, it wasn't so much children displaying delayed gratification. It was the children who went for the marshmallow first time round. They found that, or the ones that didn't go for it and waited 15 minutes, it was mainly because of their socioeconomic background. Now, at first I thought, what's that got to do with anything? But if you sort of break it down, they used an example that sort of said, if you are from an affluent or a well-off family or a decent family, that or you take comfort in the fact that there's always going to be food.
Yeah, you go open that
food
cupboard,
in the fridge. There's always snacks there. Deliveries are on time. The bills are always paid. There's always lights on. If you come from a background where maybe you're on welfare or on universal credit, or there aren't always snacks in the cupboard, that you're not thinking about waiting 15 minutes. Your understanding of life is that
take it or leave
there's
it.
risk with waiting. If you don't take it now, you could lose it. So a lot of those children, they found out, would just take it there and then. And I guess that kind of leads on to us to talk about delayed gratification and how that affects people in in their lives. It's interesting because personally for me, I necessarily wouldn't say...
was the outcome actually delayed gratification? Because my thinking now is, if you don't have...
So they thought, the ones from back, they were like...
What was the outcome with the recent one in 2018?
The outcome with the recent one was that the reason for the delayed gratification, so the ones that waited, was because of their socioeconomic background. So basically, the family finances played a massive part in whether or not you're going to be patient and wait, or you're just going to take it now. So the kids that were poorer, who maybe didn't have a guarantee of a meal, or, snacks, they were like, you know what? And day-to-day life for me, there's not always food in the kitchen. So I'm taking this. I ain't worried about no 15 minutes. I want this now.
Yeah.
If I don't get that ice cream man's gone. There ain't no lollipops in the freezer.
So could you almost like liken it to opportunities?
Most definitely.
That someone may get a job opportunity because they're like feeling like they're at a disadvantage. They may take that first opportunity as soon as it comes.
It's something we see.
Whereas a wealthy person be like, oh, that's right.
I got options.
I can live at home for a bit until the right job comes.
Precisely, because using that example, I don't know if you've not, because I've noticed it with the music industry. Back in the day, early 2000s, late 90s, it was all about who's got a deal. who's got a deal? Lil Wayne, everyone, I want a deal. And then fast forward 5, 10, 15 years later, we see a lot of these people who were quick to just sign for those deals actually were in pretty bad deals.
Get me out.
In deals where they maybe the management took 90%. Look what happened to Lil Wayne and Baby, as they call him. And look at all these situations where people have had to fight, get new lawyers to get out of their deals because they've just taken the first thing that's come to them. They weren't thinking, you know what, if I wait 5 years, they're thinking.
But it's not knowing.
That's the thing. But it's like you said, it's opportunity as well. Because if you very rarely see opportunities, who's to blame you for taking the one opportunity that has just been presented in front of you?
Because you thought that was it.
Precisely. So for me, that kind of begs the question of, what kind of situations have I been in, or people in every day where they're not thinking 3, 4, 5 years down the line. They're thinking, I want this now. So, we spoke earlier about properties regarding, property careers is one. Using property as an example, you could want to buy a house in London. You might want it this year, next year. You might have 5%. You're thinking, house prices, my salary ain't doing it. Let me look at shared ownership. Let me look at help to buy. Those are options that are available now. I can get it now to this year. But then they might not necessarily be thinking, if I wait 1 or 2 years, if I delay gratification, if I wait, save a bit more, get a high salary, maybe get a bonus if I'm fortunate enough, I can drop 10%. I don't have to share anything with anyone.
Yeah.
I don't have to do no help to buy. I'm good. But then it's tough because at the same time, who am I or who are we or who's anyone to say you've made the wrong choice?
You don't know until...
That's the thing. It's tough. So maybe it's a delayed gratification for us, but for that person, do you know what I mean? That's, I think, where it gets a bit...
And you can't predict the outcome of the future. That's the other side of it.
That's where it gets tough. But I don't know if you can think of any examples of gratification that you've delayed or things you've been like, I'm going to wait. So for me, one classic example is job. Out of university.
Man was waiting for probation to come
probation,
to end and be like,
probation.
I'm free.
I'm free.
I got this job now.
Precisely. Out of job.
Update his LinkedIn.
Out of university, you get that job offer. It's 18K.
Yeah.
But you're thinking, actually, no, I wanted 25. But you're thinking, all my boys have got jobs. I just want a job.
Yeah.
I'm out of university. I'm at home. I'm not doing anything. I just want to get a job. And I think a lot of people kind of fall into that trap where they'll just take the first thing that comes to them. They don't care what it is. They don't care about the salary. It's a job, that title of a job, and then just go into it. And then they sort of quickly realize that actually, this is not necessarily what I wanted to do. I didn't want to be. But there's also that counter argument of, fair enough, you're not there. You might not have that 50K salary right out of university. These things take time.
Is it delayed gratification or is it delayed action?
Gratification.
Because
you could wait. You could apply for more jobs and actually wait for a job that you actually want.
Yeah,
That's the gratification. What are you thinking when you say action?
Because I feel that, let's use an example of you graduate from uni.
Yeah.
Because what gratification do you get? You got a job. That's the gratification that you're getting.
So all your boys have got one. Everyone.
You take it just on the basis that, you know what, I need this job.
Yeah.
I need this feeling of I'm part of society, right?
Part of society. I'm making a salary. Mum and dad are off my back.
Yeah.
I'm out the house.
Okay. Maybe it's the same thing. My thinking was like delayed action is almost not jumping at the first opportunity, just waiting for the right one. Because a lot of the time, and I'm a prime example, when I graduated from uni, not even graduated, but in my final year, when I was doing my exams, I had a graduate role lined up. I was like, I'm patterned, I'm calm. But something deep down in me was like, this isn't what you want to do. So I then took action to go for more interviews, and then I lined up another one. And then they took a bit of time. Shout out General Electric, who took their time to get back to me. So I then went back to the original graduate role. But even in the time of having that 6 weeks holiday, that last holiday that you ever have between a job and uni, that lovely holiday.
Oh man, 3 months, sweet.
I was like, I'm still not sure about this job. And that's when I applied for the job that I'm at now.
Yeah.
And I feel that I could have just left it. I could have just accepted that gratification of having a job.
Yeah.
And then doing it. But I meant but my thinking was like that delayed action was not in that example, but almost maybe taking the first opportunity, but then hopefully after that you make that another leap or another movement.
I guess.
Or you say no.
Yeah.
And you just put it into fate and be like, there's going to be a better job out there.
To be fair, I guess they're sort of one and the same in that kind of context, it does make sense. Like to me, it seems like different sides of the same coin. Like it makes sort of sense that it's that way.
Because I feel like this term delayed gratification is one of these conversation that people who are older have about us.
The
millennials.
Avocado toast. Save that money for your deposit. Guys, come on.
You guys just want it now. Because that's delayed gratification. It's like wanting instant, it now.
Yeah, that instant.
I've got anxiety. I've got depression because I'm in my mind so much that I'm not where I want to be.
Yeah.
And I want it now. And life is shit because I haven't got it all.
Yeah.
You know, that's my understanding of delayed gratification. And it is a kind of battle that you have where you do see everyone else.
Yeah.
You know, you see everyone else thriving. You use the example of your friends. They've got jobs. You just finished uni and you're like, come on, what about me? I get the example from the study that you're talking about.
Yeah.
If you don't have, and there's an opportunity right in front of you, take it.
Yeah.
Like, you don't, because your thinking is, I don't know when the next one's coming. It's like seeing a bus. It's like knowing, you know, the bus, like you're waiting for a bus. You know there's going to be another one in 10 minutes.
And there'll be two together.
But back in the day, you didn't know when that next bus was coming.
Yeah.
You didn't have no app. You couldn't look up and say that, the bus is coming
digital,
in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You read it and it was like Sunday. It was like one every 30 minutes. Ooh. So by the time that you see the bus, when you step out your house, you're thinking it could take me 20 seconds to run there. You're going to run. You're going to take that opportunity.
There and then.
Because you want that gratification of being on the bus and going on your journey.
You're not waiting. And you know what the maddest thing is? I think one thing that plays a massive, for me anyway, significant part in this whole instant gratification, wanting it now, has definitely been social media. Because with social media, first of all, you can instantly upload, see what everyone else is doing. So we went from a time where if I wanted to find out what you were doing, I had to be around you, call you, speak to you. Whereas now, in the comfort of my own home, I can see where you are, what you're doing on live, what you're posting. I can see everything. And a lot of people play up to social media, meaning that they will post cars that they can't afford. They'll put on jewelry and clothes that they haven't actually paid for to give off an impression, to put the best foot forward. But then what that creates is an image for other people of, is that how they're living over there? Champagne bottles.
Why am I not
got
living
a match,
like that?
Then you want to live like that. You want to match up and be on that level. And I think that's where a lot of that kind of environment, because it just becomes like a knock-on effect, a domino effect. He's done 10. I got to level up. I got to do 20. It comes that battlefield exacerbated because it's with filters as well. So it's sort of highlight reel that isn't real of people's lives. Like, I don't know if you've experienced this, even with certain films. If you look at the trailer or the highlight, that kind of takes a clip of the best bits of the movie, and it's like, this is going to be lit.
The trailer's going to be, But
then I watch not all movies, certain movies I watch, and I'm just like, did I pay for that? That wasn't that amazing. But because social media is essentially the equivalent of just the trailer, you're seeing the best of the best, and you're going to want to match that best, and it's just not the reality. And sort of taking that a step further, one thing that I've seen that has been, for me, is concerning, is surgery. This is obviously a big topic. We can do another episode on this.
BBL, yeah?
Woo!
Brazilian butt lift.
It's Brazilian butt lift. It's all of it. For me, it's sort of like, I'll listen to people speak about how they've gone out to get surgery, gone under the knife, and it's been because I just didn't want to go gym. That for me is like a classic example of, let me get this straight. You went to have fat removed from your stomach or your, back, side, whatever, muffin top, whatever they want to call it, right? Let's forget that it was put elsewhere, but you wanted fat removed in surgery under the knife for that quick instant, I want it now. When you could have just gone to the gym, 4, 5, 6, however long it would have taken, and just put in the work. Delayed gratification. And for me, I just struggled to understand it, because I even saw someone did a vlog on it. They made it seem like, I've just gone on holiday. It was so casual. And I think that's where my concern was, that is this what society is? Is this what us millennials as a generation?
What do you reckon the impact is?
For me, the first thing that came to my mind is younger cousins. If I have a daughter, do I really want her seeing this as like
shortcut?
It just made it seem as if someone was just going to the shop. Literally, I've just gone to the shop. I want to order sweets, but this time I just want to order a big batty.
But do you reckon there's a problem with that?
Yes, because what, the big bum or the actual surgery?
No, the world that we live in. Because obviously the elder generation look at us and realize that we've got so much opportunities. We live in a world full of technology. We can learn just like
abundance.
that. Yeah. So we've got shortcuts now. So now we're looking at other people who are doing, liposuction and everything like that. They got shortcuts. Yeah. Is that necessarily a bad thing?
It's not necessarily bad. I think my concern was
you're just
more,
thinking it's lazy, right?
I'm like, I was like,
go gym now.
What's going on?
Stop eating cake.
What's going on?
Stop going for KFC.
No,
20 hot wings for $5.99. Not that I know about that.
Yeah. What did I order? Wings and fries.
Somebody tell these guys.
No, to be fair, okay. So there's a split kind of way of looking at it. You've got cases where maybe someone just hasn't got big breasts, right? And they want bigger breasts. There's no delayed gratification there. You can wait 10 years. This is what you've been given. It is what it is. Right. If they get that, I'm like, I understand that. Yeah. Right? I completely get it. Can't argue with it. You can wait 15 years. It's not going to get bigger, right? With the whole sort of like fat removal, even to a certain degree, gastric
whatever it's called.
Whatever they're called. Not for, I know some people have to have it for like general health reasons, but when people do it just on the basis of, I just want to speed up this process, but more so the kind of removal of fat, I'm just a bit like, because my concern now is, okay, you've had the fat removed, they've put it into your bum, you got big batty, people are hovering around you, amazing. Your habits for why you got that big belly haven't
changed.
Gone.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen now?
Exactly the same.
You're going to go back, and then you're going to be back in KFC.
Back and forth.
Like, how does it go?
Yeah.
And not everyone, that's the thing, your health, but not everyone sees that. So you've got the internal health of just the fat, arteries, all of that, diabetes potentially, but then the risk of you being under the knife, and the thing is, they just showcase the nice aspects. No one shows when things start to leak or when they have to go and get things stapled back up because there's been an infection.
Or even when the doctors and nurses don't even speak English. No?
That's what I'm saying. That's a completely kind of different aspect, and I'm not sort of judging anyone or, looking down on anyone. I'm just sort of saying it's important for us to look at the delayed and instant gratification of this aspect. It's important to think about the long-term implications.
Yeah, I think naturally we just want the quickest and easiest kind of options a lot of the time. Get money rich schemes.
Oh man.
Instant.
Have you ever fallen for any of those? Like, have you ever been to one of those seminars?
I've been to a seminar. I've spoken about this. Yeah.
£55,000, but tonight, $3.99.
I'm like, yeah.
Where do I sign?
I'm happy I done it because I got burnt. I didn't get burnt. It made me learn a lot.
Yeah.
And it made me go, okay, I need to make this money back.
Yeah.
But now I'm able to be in those sort of events or see those sort of things. I'll be like, you're not going to get me this time.
Not me.
Not this time.
But it's interesting because a large part of us being humans, a large part of us as society is that we are naturally lazy. So a lot of the reasons why we do, because even if you look on another level, look at cars. Yeah. Look at elevators. Look at ovens. Look at all these.
That's instant gratification.
These are all things that we've created that have basically taken us into almost instant gratification, taking us away from the hard work. Everything, like you can order
cycle to work,
a car, a pizza, almost anything from your phone. You don't even need a laptop. Don't open your laptop. You can. What's worse? When was the last time you used an actual password on your phone? Because I've been using fingerprints this last couple of weeks. I won't lie. I'm like, I'm like, what? I ain't got to do hella time. I'm like, what? I don't have to. I'm not a keyboard warrior. I just got. Bim. But there's a step further. I've seen people use their faces. But
that's the whole kind of like, it's enhancing, like you're saying, our human brains are programmed. Not programmed. I don't want to say programmed, but we are very lazy in a sense because our body is doing a lot through a day-to-day kind of living.
It's efficiency.
It's we're breathing. Efficiency. It's efficiency, precisely. So when you start adding all these additional layers of going gym for an hour and a half and then eating healthy and I have to prepare my food, your brain's going, listen, we've just burnt out so much energy just getting up in the morning, brushing my teeth, breathing, rude boy. Yeah. You don't think about how much, much energy I'm consuming, breathing, the cells in your body, the kind of like, the digestion, that all these little things that we don't think about. So when it comes to doing activities that require a lot of energy, our brain is like,
It's interesting you mentioned that because I listened to, I think it was Tim Ferriss. So it's sort of mental fatigue, and it's that certain aspects, and it kind of goes to like routines and habits, and that your routines are sort of like second nature, And the importance is of doing routines.
Good routines.
Of having routines and health routines
Yeah.
is that you're not wasting or utilizing that mental energy. Because you know that when you wake up, you brush your teeth, you have your oats, you go to work, you do whatever. Because that's on autopilot, that doesn't drain your energy. You want to use your energy for that creative aspect. And I got the concern, anyone who's sort of into like, what's this guy's name? The PayPal guy, Tesla.
Oh, Elon Musk.
Elon Musk. So he has obviously been talking a lot about how AI will take over. I don't know if you've been hearing. And his concern is that we are given so much of our responsibility, so much tasks that we could do that we're thinking, you know what? We want it done now. Instant gratification. We're giving those, aspects to robots and machines. And he's known as one of the world's greatest minds. And he's sitting there going, I'm worried. I'm concerned that this will take over. He's the same one he's doing, and it's mad because it's mad because he's like, you know what, it's gonna kill us, but let me just join in anyway. And it's crazy because it is an important factor. If you look back at the last 50 to 100 years, the number of jobs that have been taken over by machines, and they're saying in the next 10, 15, 20 years, I mean, obviously there will always be jobs because there'll be jobs to kind of like replace and sort those machines out, and there'll be new sectors and areas. But it is of concern. Look at what Amazon's doing with the drone delivery, same day delivery. That's instant gratification. That's a perfect example right there. Back in the day.
That's what I was saying about the argument. Is it a bad thing?
It depends. I think this is the thing. I think there's a line.
Yeah.
There's a line between efficiency and just pure laziness. Yeah. Like same delivery, I get it. Certain things you need today.
I get upset if I don't have that option of getting Prime.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? I have to wait till Thursday. Like,
how dare they?
Like, are you crazy?
Back in the day, it was like we'd wait 2 weeks. Even with computers, I don't know if you remember that old Microsoft when the thing used to do the dial-up on the phone, and it would take 15 weeks on LimeWire to download one picture. Whereas now, if my 15 gigabyte movie hasn't downloaded in a minute, I'm calling up Virgin. Virgin, what's good?
You've got their little spinning buffer thing. Yeah?
Oh,
you're like, come on, refresh.
That actually hurts. But it's just crazy to see how, because that's also affected, my brain is completely gone today. It's affected attention spans. Apparently the average has gone down from like 12 to like 4 seconds.
It's crazy.
But
it's
that's
the
thing.
evolutionary thing. That's what I'm saying about instant gratification. There is that danger that although I always see that the way I see it, let me be clear. The way I see it, the term instant gratification comes from a previous generation that is now looking on you with their lenses and giving judgment. Yeah. The same way that we're probably going to look at our kids, the next generation, and be like, you guys don't know, you want it all now. Yeah. But we don't realize that with society, with technology, everything's evolving. Yeah. Meaning us as humans, what we know today is evolving as well. Yeah. So 100%. Deliveries. Once upon a time, we lived in a world where you be on the internet and you be on MSN and someone calls your landline and you get disconnected, and that was the end of your world. You're like, oh man! But now you got a mobile phone in your hand, and people can keep in contact with you all the time, or you can order food just like that. Or you can go through a drive-through. I'm sure drive-through's been around for time, but you can get, if you are told after going through a drive-through, pull up to bay number 4 because we're making your food, you're like, hey, this is supposed to be fast food. Yeah. Like
even that classic fast food.
It sounds mad, doesn't it?
It's crazy because again, it's that kind of question of where do we draw the line?
My only problem with instant gratification is when it starts impacting you. When you're starting to compare yourself with other people, like you're saying, where you're comparing yourself with other people and going, why am I not there? What do I need to get there? And also having this kind of internal battle with yourself going, I'm not going to be happy until I get there. Yeah. But not understanding that their path is different to yours. Yeah. And it may take you a lot longer, and you have to be okay with that. Yes. And I'm 28 and still come to terms with that. Yeah. That kind of delayed gratification. Like, me being open and honest right now, I've got a house purchase going through.
Come on.
But everyone's like, come on. Yeah. I'm like, it's cool. Yeah. It's calm. I'm delaying my gratification. Not until I pick up the keys. I'm delaying it until the 10th house.
Hey, come on. Yes. Energy.
Because it's just like, it's part of the process. Yeah. And I'm happy. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy making it, moving on to the second one. Let's go, keep it moving. Be appreciative of being in the moment and everything like that. And delaying that gratification is like not getting ahead of yourself. Yeah. Not going, boy, man, jeez, I'm winning. Come on, yes.
Yes.
Delaying it, because that peak, that trough that you get, that little high,
Yeah.
when you come crumbling back down, what are you gonna do?
And the thing is, that's, and I'm glad you mentioned that, because for me, one thing that is really important with delayed gratification is going through the process. If you think about the process you have to go through, the journey. So, for example, using the house example, if you were to buy a house today and you got the keys today, I don't think you'd appreciate it as much as if you had to wait those 6 to 12 weeks, speak to solicitors. You're going through the process, you're feeling it. It's like the whole kind of ups and downs. Like the way roller coasters are enjoyed is by the sort of, you've got the peak, but then you've got the run up to the peak. And if you just went straight to the peak, you might not enjoy it. A lot of the enjoyment and the process is in the anticipation. And I think that for me is a key thing of delayed gratification, anticipation. Like they say, when you in a run up to a holiday, the run up for a lot of people is the best part of the holiday, because you're thinking and anticipating the actual holiday. When you're there, you're going to obviously enjoy, you're going to live life. But in the run up to that, it's the same with a baby. 9 months in the womb, you're thinking about what you're going to do, playing. That anticipation is the delayed gratification. That's where a lot of enjoyment is. And I think us as a generation, not to generalize, I think a lot of us are missing those aspects and a lot of things.
Enjoy the journey.
With the kind of weight loss, losing weight, the anticipation is in going to the gym every day, even when you don't want to go, being like, oh, I can't be asked. That's where it really is. When you're there, you're there.
But that's why it's so important to track your progress.
100%. Whether that's through video or journal, like I know you sort of journal, and sometimes journal. Some people, obviously, everyone's got different ways of doing it. For us, this podcast is one perfect example, and I think it's important to go through that journey, go on the ride, go on the ups, go on the downs. It's like
3 shots of tequila, prime example.
come
Receipts.
doing
5
amazingly
years in the game. Now they're reaping the reward.
just now. That's the thing.
Like
and that's
they've
the
been
thing.
taking little small wins. Don't get me wrong. Got the tour sold out, everything like that. But now you're like, whoa. And you see them day in, day out. Not day in, day out, but every week. Producing content, putting it out. And now they're reaping the rewards.
I love it.
They could have hit a stage of going, we're not getting paid for this.
Yeah.
Done. But they're like, no, let's continue. Let's push on. I believe, anticipation, we're going to get there. Being optimistic. Yeah. And look at them now.
Yes. I love it. And you just have to kind of like love and respect everything they've gone through, because for us, obviously, we understand that process of the journey. And again, it links to so many different areas in someone's life. So many different areas. 50 Cent's, I think it's Many Men. In his song, again, it's like, joy wouldn't be special if it wasn't for pain. You wouldn't enjoy the sunshine if it wasn't for rain. And it makes sense, because you have to go through that journey. You have to sometimes delay that gratification and just kind of think about the long term. Think about what's the next level. I think a lot of it is also just about thinking ahead. Fair enough. Yes, we've all come from different situations, different socioeconomic situations, and that will have an impact on the way in which we view the world. And I think a lot of it for me relates to the aspect that we've always talked about, which is self-awareness. Having that self-awareness of what you're having instant gratification for now. Like for me, sometimes I think about, what could I delay? What am I doing now that I could delay and say, I'm not going to do it this month? Whether that's with buying something with my salary, or maybe not having snacks waiting for lunch or dinner.
Sacrifices you make, right?
Just, literally think about the sacrifices you can make today for a better tomorrow.
I say my guilty thing is fancying something sweet.
Oh, you got a sweet tooth? Yeah, man.
Every now and again.
I've been bad this last week and a half.
Summertime body,
Hey, nah.
2020. Yeah. But if I just delayed it, then I'll be happy, right?
That's the thing. And it starts with, a lot of it is just little minor things. I'm going to I'm going to wake up 5 minutes early. I'm going to, sacrifice 5 minutes of just being in bed. Being a bit early,
a challenge, because
read an extra page, not have that chocolate or the sweet, and just, little things.
Those little things over time, they contribute into big things, but it's that first little hurdle you have to get over.
Oh man.
You saying getting up 5 minutes early?
Yeah.
Do you know how good it is to snooze for 5 extra minutes?
You're preaching to the choir, man. Got 2 alarms. 2 alarms.
So it's just it's a challenge, and like you're saying, it's just part of life that. Because I feel that if everything was just gifted to everyone, then we all be on the same playing field.
I don't think we wouldn't. But the thing for me, I'm like, I wouldn't. Well, for me anyway, I wouldn't appreciate I don't know if you've ever been. This is a perfect example for me, and I hope for everyone. I don't know if you've ever been given money.
Yeah.
The way I spend money that was given to me, Anton, is
Gone.
different
Money's
to
gone.
the way I spend my
Gone.
money from my salary.
Mm.
Christmas time, Uncle Femi, everyone else, 20 each. I'm like, whoo,
Come on.
getting them crepes. I'm taking everyone Nando's.
Come on.
We're going out.
Yeah.
When it's my salary, you should see the way I pull out that spreadsheet, man. I'm like, okay, cool. We're going to budget this. I'm going to put that into the savings. That goes into the emergency savings. Do I want to go out on Thursday? No, I'm not made. Like, it's a different energy.
Is my name Santander?
Yeah. It's a different energy because the money has come differently.
Yeah.
One, I've had to delay for a month to get it, put in the work, going in, going out, bus. The other one has just been given to me instantly. I haven't had to work for it. So yeah, it's just about understanding the difference between instant and delayed gratification, the importance. But I think it's also about having balance as well.
Yeah, because I feel like, let's take an example of, let's say a footballer.
Yeah.
When you score a goal,
Yeah.
is it right to have instant or delayed gratification?
Good example. Like they do instant.
Like,
Because with that, I feel like the energy you'd have immediately after is different to like
it's a high, it's a
after
win.
an hour and a half of like playing the match.
Yeah. Or should you be like, that's cool, scored another goal.
Yeah.
My aim's 30 goals this season.
Jeez.
I'm going to delay it. Every time you score, you just turn around, pick up that ball and go back to the
Back-
halfway.
yeah.
You're like, all right, let's go again. Or should you literally be, because there's also the other fact that other people be looking at you,
Yeah.
wanting to celebrate your wins.
Yeah.
You know, there's going to be people like, what's wrong with you? Like, you should be grateful.
You scored 30, man. Let's
Like,
go.
where's your gratitude? Like, you've just banged because you don't know if you're going to get an injury tomorrow. So that's why it's so important.
Yes, that's the other aspect.
Like, finding, I haven't found that balance. I admit it. There's times that I should be, so that's why I have my daily gratitude journal, to bring out those moments of gratitude, even if they're small. But like, if I do something which in the eyes of someone else is big, to me, I'm like, it's part of the plan.
Yes.
Blase is part of the plan.
Yeah.
You know? So I don't know what else I'm supposed to
That's
do.
level
like,
4
man.
of 29, so you know,
Yeah.
it's a minor thing.
Whereas-
Yeah.
If something was to happen to me tomorrow and I am not able to pursue that plan, where am I? Where's my thinking? Am I
That's
going to
the
be
thing.
like, actually,
That's
you
the
done
thing.
well to that point? Or am I going to be like, oh, but I missed out because I was already on level 4 and it was another 16 to go?
You're right, bro. For me, that's where it gets tough because there's this kind of argument of, so using kind of money as an example, some people say you got to save for retirement, think about tomorrow, emergency funds, blah, rata, rata. There's that other argument of,
YOLO.
but live life. No, live life. Like you said, you don't know when you're going to die.
Yeah.
There should be that balance. You know, there has to be that balance of, you know what, I've got a holiday at the end of the year, but at the same time, you know, we can go out this weekend, we can go out next month and watch a movie. Or there has to be that balance because it's the whole all work, no play makes Jack a dull boy. You know, there has to be that kind of balance between instant and delayed. I think it's just understanding what proportions to have that in. Having your cake.
Doesn't even, I don't know, I'm so torn in this
It's
one.
tough because it's never, I don't think it's ever going to be like split down the middle. It will never be 50-50. I think it's just about being aware. Like if you are planning on scoring 50 goals, maybe you might not want to celebrate after every 1 goal, maybe after every 5 or every 10. But if you're only going to go for 3 or 1, then yeah, most definitely. I think that's where it kind of links for me to self-awareness, knowing what the kind of plan and the goal is. Like you saying you want, for example, 10 houses or more. For you, 1 might not be, for everyone else, it's like, yeah, because most people just get 1 house. But if you're saying 10, then 1, you're like, that's literally 10%. What's there to celebrate? We're not even 50%. Let's go. Where's number
Let's
2 and
get
3?
it. Come on, let's
So
go.
I think there's always going to be that kind of difference, but I think it's important to just understand where you stand with it, understand how you're looking at it, your viewpoint, and just that self-awareness.
I'm trying to liken it to having an addiction because sometimes you get that thrill from something. You know, you get it instant and then you want it again and again and again. It's not quite the same because that first hit was amazing, but everything after that is not quite the same.
That's where it gets dangerous.
Then I'm trying to think because you're constantly trying to crave
You're
it,
trying to chase that kind of,
gratification, that feeling again.
yeah, that hit.
So then do you have
That
to kind of
dopamine
like,
hit.
I don't know, limit your gratification, your love, your feel good factor.
It's hard, isn't it? Because like, obviously, like, when it's an addiction, that's like the extreme sort of
There's
level,
people
isn't it?
who get, you know, the addiction to making more money. You know, they reach a sale target of whatever, let's call it £1,000. Great feeling, but they want more.
Yeah.
They want 2, they want 3.
Where do you go from here? Yeah.
You know, is that dangerous? That just means that they're very competitive and they're driven by money and that goal of achieving more.
Yeah.
But then, are they happy? Are they content? Is that a healthy behavior? To them, it probably is. To everyone else, it's not. You know, the gratification of eating a cookie every single day.
Ooh.
You know, to everyone else, it's unhealthy. But to you, you're like, this is
like,
it.
I'm good.
This is what I've been looking forward to throughout the whole day.
Yeah.
You know, someone's literal entirement or gratification is just waking up. Is that?
I think that's the thing. That's where it gets tough, because that's when it becomes more subjective.
Yeah.
Because for someone like, you know, Mr. A, 6 a.m. is instant gratification. Mr. B, 8 a.m. is like delayed like it's different for everyone, isn't it? That the point you mentioned about sort of addiction is again, it's a good one. But I think that's just, again, where it gets hard, because
it's a complicated issue.
It's just complicated, man. Because if I'm going gym every day, what's a cookie? But if this other person hasn't been gymming 8 years, then 1 cookie a day, it's adding up.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's an interesting one, and I'm just sort of trying to think in my head, like, what things do I sort of delay or do instantly? And
is there anything that you're delaying right now?
Most definitely the one example we touched on first. So property is like a classic example. If I wanted to, I could put 5% down on certain houses in certain areas. I could go for like shared ownership, 40% or something. You know, I could get help to buy with 5% deposit, but I'm sort of thinking long term and the sort of strings attached to both of those options and how they could affect me long term. So I'm thinking, you know what? If I wait another 6 months, I'll be in a position where I can drop 10, 15, even 20% down on that same property without the hassle of the shared ownership, without the hassle of, you know, the government coming back in 5 years being like, where's my 40%, brother? I want it now with interest. It's just sort of, that for me is like a classic example. Trying to think what else. One thing I've always kind of used in the past as well has been sort of with relationships. I know of people who are quick to get into a relationship. Don't know the person, or don't know them well enough. They just want to be in a relationship. That's their norm. All they know is to be in a relationship. And for me, I've always kind of taken my time. I've always kind of delayed sort of, let's go on a date first. Let's get to know each other before we kind of jump in at the deep end. Same with jobs as well. Getting job offers, I've never kind of rushed to kind of go, I want this job because it's a job. Kind of gone, is this in line with, you know, strategy and long-term career plan? Is this the salary that I'm either ideally wanted or that I'm okay with at the time being? Is it in a location I want? If it's not, let's wait. Fair enough. You know, it's been, because I was in that situation where I was out of a job for 6 months. It was stressful. People were on my back. Money was going down. Savings were going down. But for me, it was like, there's a vision, there's a long-term plan, and I'm going to sort of stick to that. And I sort of did. And things, again, do come through. I think it's just about having that faith, belief, confidence, and that calm. Because a lot of people forget that delayed gratification is a skill. I don't think you're just born with delayed gratification. I was just born, but I'm not going to cry. I'm going to wait till we get home. No.
I want milk now.
Yeah, I want it now, mum. Come on. It's a skill that kind of develops over time. So something simple like, you know what? I usually have a chocolate bar, but I'm actually going to wait until the end of the week, because then the satisfaction you get when you have that, knowing that you've waited, feeling that anticipation is that much better. For me anyway, yeah. So it's a beautiful thing, delayed gratification. I think on that, should bring this episode to a close. I think one thing we'd love to hear from people is, you know, what examples can you think of where you've delayed gratification and it's been worth it? Maybe, and also what kind of examples have you delayed gratification and it hasn't worked out? You know, it hasn't kind of gone the way you planned. What things do you just instantly gratify? You're like, I don't care, I want it now. We'd definitely love to hear. Some people are not having it. Some people are not having it. We'd definitely sort of love to hear your thoughts and ideas. To get at us, we can be emailed at info@techbeanpodcast.co.uk. You can contact us on our Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at Techbean Podcast. And that is it for this episode. Keep it locked, and we'll be here next time.